The Patterson-Gimlin footage, often referred to as the Patterson-Gimlin film, is one of the most famous and hotly debated pieces of cryptozoological evidence in existence. It allegedly captures a Bigfoot, also known as Patty, a large, bipedal, ape-like creature in the forests of Northern California. Filmed on October 20, 1967, by Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, the footage has fueled debates for decades over the existence of the creature, with skeptics calling it a hoax and believers arguing it is genuine. Here's a detailed account of the story, including the events leading up to the filming itself, and the aftermath. The background and context. Roger Patterson had been interested in Bigfoot for years before the incident. He had read numerous reports and sightings of the creature from various parts of North America, especially in the Pacific Northwest. Patterson even authored a book titled "Do Abominable Snowmen of America Really Exist?" in 1966, which documented many of these sightings and his own thoughts about the creature. In 1967, Patterson set out to the wilderness of Bluff Creek, a remote area in Northern California known for numerous alleged Bigfoot sightings. Patterson's companion on this trip was Bob Gimlin, a fellow outdoorsman and horse rider from Yakima, Washington. Though Gimlin was more skeptical of the existence of Bigfoot, he agreed to accompany Patterson on the trip as a favor and to help with the logistics of traversing the rugged terrain. Patterson had a 16mm Kodak Cinekodak K100 camera with him, prepared in case they encountered anything unusual. The area they were in, Bluff Creek, had been the location of several previous Bigfoot reports, and Patterson hoped to document evidence of the creature. The day of the incident. On October 20th, 1967, Patterson and Gimlin were horseback riding along the banks of Bluff Creek when, according to their account, they suddenly encountered a large, hairy, bipedal figure walking along a sandbar near the creek. The figure was approximately 25 to 30 meters away from them when they first saw it. According to Patterson's account, he immediately jumped off his horse, grabbed his camera, and started running toward the creature while trying to film. Gimlin stayed back, holding the horses and keeping a rifle ready in case the situation turned dangerous. Patterson's adrenaline and the uneven terrain caused the footage to be shaky, especially in the initial moments. The film, which runs just under a minute, about 59.5 seconds, captures the figure walking away from the camera, moving across the creek bed. At one point, the figure turns its head briefly toward the camera, looking back over its shoulder before continuing its walk into the woods. This moment, often referred to as frame 352, is the most famous and clearest frame from the footage, providing a frontal glimpse of the figure. The creature appears to be covered in dark, shaggy hair and is notable for its bulk and muscularity. Patterson later estimated the creature to be about 7 feet tall and weighing between 350 to 500 pounds. The figure has a distinctively human-like gait, though with some peculiarities, such as an exaggerated arm swing and a fluid, nonchalant stride. Gimlin and Patterson, both experienced with horses and outdoor life, were struck by the size and appearance of the creature, which they claimed was unlike any known animal or human. After the creature disappeared into the forest, the two men, startled but excited, spent some time tracking it, but they were unable to catch up to it. The footage. The Patterson-Gimlin footage has been subject to endless scrutiny. The most famous section of the film, around frame 352, shows the creature turning its head to look back at Patterson. This brief glance is particularly memorable for the creature's facial features, which appear to be a mix between ape and human. Its gait and motion have been analyzed for decades, with some experts claiming it is too natural and fluid to be a man in a suit, while others argue it is an elaborate hoax. In the film, the creature's proportions and movements seem abnormal compared to humans. The length of the arms, the angle of the legs, and the way the muscles move beneath the fur are key areas of study for researchers. For many believers, these details point to the creature being real. Skeptics, however, argue that a skilled costumer or performer could have faked these elements. The aftermath. After the footage was developed, Patterson and Gimlin brought it to the public's attention. Patterson was convinced that they had captured proof of Bigfoot's existence and began showing the film to various audiences, including scientists and skeptics. Footage quickly became a sensation, leading to widespread media coverage and debate. Patterson stood by the authenticity of the footage until his death from cancer in 1972. Gimlin, meanwhile, kept a lower profile, avoiding much of the media attention, though he consistently maintained that the footage was real and that he had seen the creature with his own eyes. It wasn't until later in life that Gimlin began to speak more publicly about the encounter. Some primatologists and anatomists have claimed that the creature's gait and muscle movement are too natural to be a human in a suit, especially given the technology of the 1960s. They argue that the muscle movements visible beneath the fur, particularly in the thigh and shoulder areas, would be difficult to replicate with any costume available at the time. On the other hand, skeptics argue that the film is an elaborate hoax. Some costume designers and special effects artists have stated that creating such a suit would be possible, even in the 1960s. One of the most notable claims came from Bob Hieronymus, who in 2002 alleged that he had worn the Bigfoot suit in the film. He claimed Patterson and Gimlin orchestrated the hoax to capitalize on the growing Bigfoot phenomenon. Additionally, some critics have pointed out inconsistencies in Patterson's behavior, such as how he managed to keep the camera steady enough to capture footage in such a surprising situation, and why he didn't film more of the surrounding area after the creature disappeared. Debates and cultural impact. To this day, the Patterson-Gimlin film remains one of the most analyzed pieces of cryptozoological evidence. Despite decades of scrutiny, no definitive proof has emerged that it is either a hoax or genuine evidence of Bigfoot's existence. Scientific opinion is divided, though the majority of mainstream scientists lean toward skepticism, considering the lack of corroborating physical evidence for Bigfoot in general. However, for many Bigfoot enthusiasts, the footage is considered one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for the creature's existence. It has entered popular culture as the quintessential image of Bigfoot and is regularly referenced in documentaries, books, and films about the subject. Final thoughts. The Patterson-Gimlin footage continues to captivate the imagination of the public. Whether real or staged, it represents one of the most enduring mysteries of modern cryptozoology. The debate surrounding the footage has outlived both Patterson and the era in which it was filmed, fueling a legend that persists to this day. While some believe it captures an unknown creature, others see it as a masterful hoax, but the truth remains elusive.